Okay, so today we're going to learn the key of G major, some major chords that are in the key of G major, and we'll learn how to use those chords to play a song very simply. Even an absolute beginner can learn how to play using this method so that people can sing along to a song. All right, so first, the key of G major starts with the key of G. So there's G. There's G, there's another G, another G, another G, another G, right? So repeats up and down the keyboard. You have the G, and the notes in the key of G major are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So F sharp, you can see anytime you're going to play an F, you're going to play the F sharp in the key signature. That's the line with the sharp on it, right? Good. So the G major chord starts with G as well, right? So you're going to start with G, and then a major chord, you go up 2 whole steps or 4 half steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and then another 3 half steps. And you use that technique to find any major chord, right? So in this case, G is 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 3. And you do that for any chord. You want to start with C. You go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 3. There's your C major chord. D. Start with D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There's your D major chord, right? And those are the main chords we're going to be using in this song today. So G major, C major, D major. All right. Now you don't always have to play the chord with the main note, or we call the root, in the bottom, or root position, right? So you can play like this, but you can also play with the G in the middle or on top, right? All of these are G. All of those are G. Those are just different inversions of the chord. Same with C. C on the bottom, C on the top, C in the middle, or D. D on the bottom, D on the top, D in the middle. All right, you get the picture. So you can, and then in your left hand, what you can do to really add something like you know what you're doing, but keep it simple, is you can play octaves. So I'm going to play this G major chord, and then in my left hand, I'm just going to play the octave here. Or you could play fifths, right? So this sometimes helps it make it easier when you're switching from chord to chord. So you don't always have to move so much. You can an octave, and then maybe I'm going to go to C, right? And my left hand just went from an octave to the fifth. So I went from a G chord to a C chord. Or if you wanted to go from a G chord to a D chord, octave in my left hand, right here, and then I go up to the fifth in my left hand, G. Okay? All right, so let's play a song. I Googled happy birthday chords, and usually the first one that comes up is pretty good. In this case, from Ultimate Guitar, you click on it, and you get the lyrics to Happy Birthday and the chords above it. Right? So to keep it simple, just play the chord in your right hand, and in your left hand, play either the octave or the fifth. So if we're in G, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Daisy, happy birthday to you. Okay, so there was a chord in there I didn't talk about. It says D7, right? So a D major chord has these three notes. And in any scale, you're going to have 8 total notes, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that's 8 letters. There's 8 notes in well, that's 7 letters. But it's, when you repeat above here, that's the 8th, right? So the 7th letter is the 7th note above that chord. So when you're going to play D7, instead of going all the way to the next D, I drop down 1. So if this is 8, the one right below it will be the 7th. So in this case, it's the C for the D7th. So the D7th chord is right here. I'm adding the C right above it. Or if you want, you can put the C right below it. Or you can even take that D out and just have that C in the middle there if I'm playing the Ds in my lower hand with an octave. So that C adds a tension in these 7th chords. We play them usually right before we resolve to the root note in the chord, in this case the G. Right? So if I'm playing in the key of G major, then D7 is going to resolve right to that G. So here's the D7. To you. All right, so now you know how to play all the chords in the song. You can play a song, people sing along, it sounds nice. Now it still may sound a little bit simple, but as you keep practicing, one way to spice it up is in the left hand, instead of doing these octaves or these fifths, every time the chord changes, you can do an arpeggio. So an arpeggio is just the same notes that are in the chord, but you break them up. So in this case, instead of the G octave, it's, you can play that D in the middle and happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Daisy, happy birthday to you. All right, so let's put it all together and let's play the song. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Daisy,